Namo Narayana. Friends, welcome you all. Gratitude, salutations, and congratulations. Let us know that at this present moment, whatever we do worldly, spiritually, not only the present time is spent for it, but it becomes the seed, the hetu, the cause for the future. If this present is good, the future good. The present is bad, future definitely will be bad. If the present is worldly, unholy, definitely our future is going to be that only, surely. If the present is divine, holy, our future also will be divine. Keeping that in mind only, we are studying these great Sanatana Dharma Moksha Shastras. While studying them in the present, we are utilizing our time for something highest, in the pursuit of which our antakarana, intellect become divinized, sharpened, etc. But this practice will, if it is done as a habit, alone will bring into our heart all those dhyatmika jnanams and samskaras which are required for us in future. But it has to be continuous. Let us expect that a day should come in our life wherein these adhyatmika vishayas become so effortless, natural to us, like the duck taking to the waters. We are able to think, contemplate, understand, meditate, realize, visualize the truth alone. This is what the great saints and sages, they are in that mukta sthiti, and their presence, their vani, their anugraha becomes so much blessed to the world. That's okay. But primarily, today's our classes slowly will induce into us the Adhyatmikata. Now, if we don't do this, then how will this spirituality enter us? And other than spirituality, what else is the freedom and redemption, mukti from? We cannot. Remember, we may get everything with our efforts, outwardly, outer world's things, but not moksha. Rather, everything we put effort and gain is binding us in one way or the other, is limiting us in one way or the other. The bondageless, the limitless reality alone can give us freedom and infinitude. May these truths, as experienced and spoken to us by the Gurus, be lovingly with Shraddha heard by us. May we ponder over them and understand them and the truth of them. And thus let the world around us be in whatever the way we will choose to be adhyatmika. Instead of ourselves getting influenced by the world around worldly, we should influence the world around us with our adhyatmikata. You know, that very good story of Prahalada is best. He was put in such a convent of absolute rank materialism, but with his Narayana Bhakti was so powerful, influential that when 1 or 2 days the gurus were absent on leave, all the children appointed or requested Prahalada to tell about the experiences or their knowledge or wisdom or devotion, what he has got. And he is the one who took the first Balavihar class. That too for the Hiranyakashipu Rajyasthita, those Rakshasa Santati. But they were so elated. You can study in Bhagavat Purana, Septama Skanda, Prahlada teachings to the children. How beautiful it is. He didn't get influenced by them, rather, he influenced them with his positivity. Keep that as the minimum courage, confidence, goal, etc. That I am not going to be worldly because of the world around, rather, I will be following my Sanatana Dharma Parampara, Rishi Parampara, Shastra Parampara, Jnana Parampara, Adhyatmika Parampara. And while myself evolving towards the truth, let me help the world also in that regard. Isn't it? Is this anything wrong? Think about it. Keeping that in my own lonely, all through day, different Upanishad Shastras, we are trying to browse through. Good exercise. May the Lord give all of us more deep, intense seriousness, sincerity, shraddha, and abilities also to fully grasp, digest, live these truths. Yoga Vaashishtha Maha Ramayanam, Tritiya Utpatthi Prakaranam. Yesterday we started 15th Sarga. Name of it is Mandavya Upakhyanam or LEELA Upakhyanam. In that, in the first 20, 15 slokas, once more reminding us about the Brahman alone is absolute truth, and this entire Jagat is Brahman alone, colored by the Maya Kalpita Rupanama. Other than that, this Jagat has nothing of its own existence or reality. After that, to make this understood by us clearly, Vasishtaji wants to tell the Upakhyanas. Thus, the Leela Upakhyana, Mandavya Upakhyana, he begins. In that, the Mahima of that Raja will be told in 5, 6 mantras, and then this obedience, the Sadhvi Lakshanatva of the Ragni Rani also will be told in this chapter. In the subsequent chapters, the Rani's Parivedanam, Dukkham, because of some delusion, all of that will be highlighted. Through that, more closely, this absolutely theoretically said wisdom is shown to us through those practical examples like the Purana Itihasas are nothing but the pure Vedanta of the Vedas taught to us through the various happened stories. Let us see today the portion. Om 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 Sahana Bhavatu Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Om Yairime Gurubihi Purvam Om Sri Rama Rama Rameti Om Namo Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Om Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Samasta Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidyacharibhyo Rishibhyo Munibhyo Gurubhyo Devatabhyo Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha Sankalpa Sri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Sri Vasishta Vishwamitra Valmiki Vedavyasa Vamadevadi ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषत् योगवासिष्ठमहारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षकैवल्यप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्तिविश्व आध्यात्मिकप्रगत्यर्थं धर्मसंस्थापकानां नित्यनिरन्तरदिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराममन्दिरवत् शिवकृष्णादिमन्दिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरन्तरशास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रुविघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हैंदव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सु संप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रतिभक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री राम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण वेदांत स्मृति प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ॐ सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमा मायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं परं ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षो न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ ससदृश्यं सुहृत्येवेति कीर्त्यते। ॐ तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्रीगुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नताः स्मः पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिधीर्षुरजनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं भैरविकलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ॐ श्रीरामचन्द्रपरब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीवसिष्ठादिऋषिभ्यो नमः। श्रीयोगवासिष्ठमहारामायणं तृतीय उत्पत्तिप्रकरणं मांडव्य लीला उपाख्यानं नाम पंचदश सर्ग श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच। मित्रों, वी हैव सीन यस्टरडे अप टू बहुत सुंदर एग्जाम्पल के द्वारा बताए गए हैं। जगद्भानं न भातीदं ब्रह्मणो व्यतिरेकतः जालसूर्यांशु जालं तु व्यतिरेकानुभूतिदम्। दैट्स इट, the example of the Surya Rashmi coming through the Jala, in that the dust particles. That Surya Rashmi is the infinite, conscious, blissful Sat Sarupa Parabrahma Tattva. All these Dhuli Kanikas, the dust particles, are the entire world. The two things. One commonness between that example and Brahman, another thing more exclusive to the Brahman alone is that without that Surya Rashmi, those Dhulikana cannot be seen. So, too, in the light of consciousness only, the whole universe is illuminated. That consciousness, I consider it as mine, you consider it as yours, because you and I consider separate from each other because of our one identity with the specified upadhis. Two, there's a gap between in and us. Otherwise, consciousness in you and me and in everyone is one. They were in that one infinite homogeneous, one without second consciousness alone. Like the dust particles, the sthula brahmandas ananta koti are hanging. Without the consciousness, they can't be existing only. Yeah. Point one. Point two, there is a similarity between the example and the Brahma Tattva and the relation with Jagat. The non-similarity or something exclusive to the Brahman only may not be in the example of that Surya Kiranas from the ventilator and the dust particles in it. The difference is, as regards is Anantakoti Brahmandas concerned in that infinite ocean of consciousness, all of them are that conscious, blissful existence self only, mistaken like that because of not deeply using our intellect and thinking and understanding that the entire scene, cosmos, world, with its micro and macro expression, in and through they have that Sachit Brahman alone as substrate. Imagine the picture of in the gold, all the ornaments are hanging. Picturize it. Homogeneous gold ornaments are hanging. That ornamentation is given Rupanama only, but otherwise, to them, that Rupanama, the substratum is gold only, no? Gold alone seen as ornament. So, that infinite Brahman alone is seen, taken as these dust particle placed the world or the worlds or the objects in the world or the whole world. That is what. So, without the Sat Brahma, the entire world cannot exist. Without Chit Brahma, the world cannot be illuminated. First stage. Second stage, the entire world is nothing but form given, name given to the formless, nameless Brahman only. That is at the infinite total level because of the Ishvara Maya. At the individual level, our own limitations of upadhis and our avidya, that we take them to be real. That beautiful example and thought, helpful throughout life. Remember that thought, we shared it few days back. There are no two things called as the mud and the potter. First to come to that. Side by side, see that reality also. There are no two things called as Brahman and Jagat. In that pot, in and through, mud alone is there. In that Jagat, in and through, the Sat Brahma, Chit Brahma alone is there. Before the pot appeared, mud was there. When the pot gets broken, mud will be there. Before the creation, Brahman alone. When the dissolution happens, Brahman alone. During the potness also, the inside, outside, top, bottom of the pot, whenever you are touching, carrying, holding, your touching, carrying, holding is the mud only. So too, in the entire Jagat at micro, macro level, in and through, then Brahman alone is there at every nook and corner. And if Brahman alone is there, like here mud alone is there, then where is the pot? If you can deeply apprehend this one thought, where is the pot? Either we say the mud alone is appearing as pot or there is no pot independently existing at all. Then what is pot? An appearance of mud without changing mud. For some leela, for some vyavahar. Same way, where is the entire Jagat? The Brahman alone taken appearing as Jagat, or there is no Jagat independent. The appearance of Jagat is for a leela, for only vyavahar, not paramarthik. Therefore, vyavahara rupena Jagat may be there, yet it is not real. And absolutely, so it's never real. The reality alone is real. That reality not being not object, objectively you can't see it. And simple common sense thought, a part of the world cannot be the cause of the world. Something which is cause of the world has to be beyond the world. What is beyond the world is the substratum of the world only. That is not objective. It has to be subjectively only realized. And sunkar, maybe after some lives, suddenly one day it may click that, yeah, enough of all the Vedanta, all this listening, let me practice that I am Brahman. When that clicks to us and we start practicing it, in that heat of that practicing that Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, Asmi, when all of that dissolves, suddenly we will realize what we were studying from last 10 lives, that everything is Brahman, that is realized. It is I became the Upadhyukta Jiva, therefore I am not able to see the Paramatma Tattva as substratum in the entire world. When I realize my essential self to be that Brahman, then the entire, these upadhis, when they go away, the entire worldly upadhis also go away. Like the way when it realizes it is the water, it realizes that there is nothing but water only, everything. When the ornament one realizes that it is gold, It knows that everything is gold only. है ना? That's called as Atma Jnana, leading to Brahma Jnana, leading to Brahmatmaikya Bodha in Vyavahara Sarvatmya Bhava. These are all words with pregnant meaning as our goal, which we have to realize. So the first level is the information. So we are gathering information. Maybe this entire life of ours will be gathering information. Maybe 2, 3 lives. Along with information, we may have belief and faith. Maybe 2, 3 lives, we ourselves may start independently thinking, contemplating. Maybe after maybe 2, 3 lives, we may get the our own understanding and conviction. No need of even book and the guru. मैं समझ गया. Maybe after 2, 3 lives, I may start doing Bahiranga, Antaranga sadhanas and purify myself of all, whatever you call them, impurities. Maybe after the 2, 3 lives, as said just now, winding up everything outward, I may just focus on trying to go beyond all these upadhis. At that time, that the Sakshi Bhava, that Druk Drishya Viveka, that Atmanatma Viveka, that Avastatraya Viveka, Gunatraya Viveka, which we have studied but never valued now, they will be useful that time. So I remain as Sakshi to everything. Sakshitva is strengthened. Thus, involvement with the world with Ahanta and Mamata is reduced. So the world slowly goes away from my vicinity with its important. Everything is happening, but I am not interested at all. I remain as Sakshi. Then the Sakshi Swarupa is inquired. It's found to be pure conscious self. So I am that conscious self on whom the world with my own Maya Shakti Kalpita. And in that Kalpita Jagat, everything is happening. While that's happening, I am uninfluenced Sakshi. At that time, I am no more bound. Fall from the Sakshi sthiti, start identifying with the Jagat with Ahanta and Mamata. Then, instead of the realized Brahman, the Jiva is expressed through us, the bound person. Just you can feel it. That when you have gone to a showroom or an exhibition, when you are as an onlooker, Sakshi, you are seeing, you are a normal, undisturbed person. While seeing that, when one object is seen, valued, some importance is given to it, a sense of utility comes in it about that object, immediately in our mind, an agitation starts. That's how the jiva is born. Tab tak there was no jiva. You are watching everything. You are watching everything, you know they are there, but no जीवा इनमें, ओनली ऑन लुकर. बट उसमें से एक चीज के प्रति एक्स्ट्रा भाव हमने लगाया ऑफ एनी सॉर्ट. आई नीड इट इज गुड फॉर मी, और इट कैन बी गिवन टू माई डॉटर और सेंड टू अमेरिका टू माई सन. कुछ भी सोचो भाई, स्टकअप हो जाता माइंड वहां. वंस द माइंड इज स्टकअप ऑन दैट ऑब्जेक्ट विथ सम यूटिलिटी वैल्यू इन मी, that craver for that object, the desirer for that object is born. Jiva. Now he starts agitation. Then talking, bargaining, paying, buying, and transporting it or whatever. All that samsara continues. Only with that particular thing. बाकी जितने सारे चीजें, you don't even look at that. So with regard to all other things, you are a jivan mukta. But with regard to that particular thing, you are a jiva. Bound. Baddha jiva. Example. So the Jivan Muktas always are in the state that I am Brahman, everything is Brahman, a play Vyavahara is going on. In that Vyavahara play, like in a movie, for making it मजेदार इंटरेस्टिंग, टू ऑपोजिट थिंग्स आर पुट. एक हीरो है तो विलन रहेगा, एक हंसी मजाक की घटना है तो एक सैड ट्रेजिक घटना भी रहेगा. So a highly wise director, producer, see to it that all the rasas, navarasa are there in the movie so that the viewers enjoy. With all that navarasas and their expression as dialogues or actions, everything is kalpita only, but giving entertainment. So too, the Jivan Mukta knows that all these kalpita. for the entertainment, and so he also may be given a role he takes. So this role I am playing, but I am not attached to it. I know I am Brahman. So the Atma Drushti, I am Brahman. The role Drushti, I am different roles. Imagine the Saptarishis, all of them. Are they Jivan Mukta or not? You have to be. If they are Jivan Mukta, their identity should be with Aham Brahmasmi only, isn't it? And yet with Upadhis, whatever the play they have to play, they play. The Vaashishtha will play the role of the Ikshvaku Amsha Kula Guru, isn't it? The Vyasa will play his role. That is in the seen world. That never affects or dents even little. That Brahma Tattva of the Brahma Tattva. And that Brahma they have realized, therefore, the playing of role doesn't affect them, just like the hero playing in 200 cinema roles doesn't get affected by them. In 200 cinemas, he's a hero only, but in the original life, he continues to be villain only, or whatever he is. Good thinking, all this should give us the clarity that Adhisthana Brahma is Sat, on that Maya Kalpita Desha Kala Karana. That Adhisthana I have to realize. And those people who have studied this long back, meditated, they realized. Some are at the verge of realization. Some are little better placed than me. Some are like me. Some are little lesser than me. Some are lesser than lesser. And many have not even started. Therefore, I don't compare with any lower ones and pull myself to the worldliness. I always get inspired from those who have already reached and then I aim at that. This should be a very careful approach attitude. नहीं तो इतना वेदांत बढ़कर बाहर जाते ही you see the entire worldly people and immediately get engrossed in it as if that's so real and it is so important to you. That Pachpana continues till the maturity happens. Once the maturity happens, he says to all obligate everything Namaste. Take है good. My blessings from here only. My prayers from here only. Now I am in the busy work of being in my own self. That's how slowly we, with the matured understandings, focus more on being in the self. In the Vyavahara, after being in the self, any play required to be played, play. Like if you call the realized saint to a marriage, he'll come and bless. He will not fight and reject सर्वम ब्रह्मस्वरूप है तुम कहाँ शादी करके बर्बाद हो रहे हो. He knows उसका प्रारब्ध है. He will go through. He knows if he is a yogi guru also, he will go through this way for 10 12 lives. And in the 10 12 lives, all his khujli of every sort of worldliness, samsara he will go through, leading to his vairagya. That time, whoever is the Jivan Mukta Guru, he will go to him. From him, he will gain the Jnanam. That Guru knows. It's like he goes and blesses. If at all, I'm just telling. But after realizing self. Without knowing the self, if you go to Shadi, you feel like you yourself getting Shadi again. अरे ऑलरेडी 5 बार हो गए ना फिर भी और एक बार. Isn't it funny this world is? When you are with the spiritual giants and saints, looks like, "Oh yeah, let me realize the self." And when you are with the worldly giants and faints, looking at them, you also get faint. इंटरेस्टिंग है ना ये जगत दुनिया. उधर है तो वही इतना सच्चा अच्छा लगता है, सच्चा भी और अच्छा भी. Wonderful. And in that also, when the people recognize your contributions, elderliness, maturity, all of that, social status, and welcome you and give you a seat, and आपको फिर ये वो अलग ही हो मजा आ जाता. दैट स्वामी ऊपर बैठ के मेरे नीचे बिठा के तुम ब्रह्म वो बोलता है खुद तो है ही नहीं. एंड यहाँ देख people are making me sit and give such a wonderful recognition. you know This all will go on while we are going through all this treatment, isn't it? For Rama, luckily, all this happened before entering into the gamut of samsara, isn't it? Neither he became husband to Sita ji. Nari has become king to the Ayodhya. Before that only he has got all the Vairagya. Bhagavan Vaashishtha ji gave him Jnanam. With Aham Brahmasmi, then he played the play. The Dushta Sikshana, Shishta Rakshana, Dharma Samrakshana. All other avatars did Dushta Sikshana, Shishta Rakshana and quickly went away. But Rama stayed for Dharma Samrakshana for 11,000 years, unattached to anything, with all that Aham Brahmasmi Anubhuti and Vairagya. That period of Sri Rama being king, which is there to some extent in Ananda Ramayana and others, we can meditate and see how he ruled, unattached to any bhoga, to any jagat at all. Any yajna had to be done. He has put a gold made Sita ji, but he never married anybody again for 11,000 years. No other samsara. Just ruled the kingdom, showed them how the dharma, how in a dharmic way the outer life has to be lived inside Brahmas. Anyway, extended things we discussed. All of that is from the Jagat is nothing but Brahman. That's what he's saying now. Uh, Jagat bhavam na bhatidam brahmano vyatirekatah. See, other than Brahman, the Jagat's existence and illumination can never exist. Jala suryam shujalam tu vyatirekanubhutidam. Isn't it? Jala surya mein दिखने वाला amshujalam, without Jala surya, it can never be seen. That way, the dust particle is everywhere hanging. Only through ventilator when sunlight comes, that time only you can see them. Okay, now beautiful slokas these are. Let us see. Anubhutanyapimani jaganti vyomarupini prithvyadini na santyeva swapna sankalpayoriva. This is what is the crux of, in fact, Mandukya Upanishad. Essence of it. If you study Mandukya, you have studied entire Yoga Vasishtha. Summary. So, Anubhutani api imani jaganti. The entire world and worldly things, even though they are Anubhuta, experienced. People, what they say, "Hey, you have tasted na Swamiji, like me, the sweet. Didn't you feel that sweet taste? See that ice I am giving you, you touch it. Are you not feeling cold? See, I am pinching you. Are you not feeling that pain? So you are getting the anubhutis, no? That is why the Jagat is real. Those Aichari, things like that. But Vicharavan, through lot of contemplation, he breaks that strong barrier in him that because something is experienced, it is real. That barrier is broken. And to him, he has so many anubhutis, therefore he says they are real. The Gurus give so many examples which are anubhuta but not real. And in the waking plane, the anubhutis which are anubhuta but not real are the sunrises, the sunsets, and the blueness of the sky. They are anubhuta but not real. And like while traveling, the whole trees, mountains, they appear to be going back. Anubhuta but not real. And we appear to be stationarily seated only in that vehicle. But no, we are moving along with the vehicle ahead. Like this in Jagrat Avastha, so many anubhutis are there but not real. On inquiry. So do the Rajju Sarpa Bhranti, the Sthanu Purusha Bhranti, the Shuktika Rajata, they are all given. And the best of the example given for Anubhuta but not real is Swapna itself. That's what he says here. In the time of Swapna, Swapna Anubhava is so real. But when you wake up, not so. In the same way, when the other person's point is not clearly understood by us, in that non understanding ignorance time, when we imagine from within our own mind, don't we misunderstand that person and feel angry, etc. When that person requests us, stops us, and explains to us, Bhaiya baat to ye hai. Once that his standpoint is clearly understood with evidences, our misunderstanding and anger has gone away or not. So we have had the anubhuti of our anger towards him for the cause which was never existing. These are all explanations. Best is the Swapna Anubhuti. Swapna and Sankalpa. When we try to go to sleep, that time Swapna comes. Even in the Jagrut also, when we are vele traveling in a train or anywhere, बैठे बैठे हम इतने संकल्प करते हैं. In that sankalpa, some people though imagine the entire next 30, 40 years of their life or something else. At that time, those emotions also they go through. Huh, they go through emotions, both good, bad. And I started that business that becomes such a big empire that my products all over the world. He does the imagination and he does the anubhuti of that joy within. Negative is what? Already such a huge empire, but a strong competitor came with better quality products and less cost. That was well published. Publicity is done well. The entire customers shifted to that. All my thing collapsed. होता है कि नहीं? Whether it is business में कहो, sports में कहो, मुझे वर्ल्ड कप मिला. Without playing only one can imagine and feel happy. और नहीं मिला रोने का. So to politics में that I won. Then I'm given ministerial post. Whole neck, you feel it. Or else even deposit gone. Humiliated. These are all sankalpas. Everywhere. बच्चे जब एग्जाम में जाते हैं बिफोर एग्जाम्स तो बेचारे यू एंड आई ऑल्सो वर द स्टूडेंट्स ना ड्यूरिंग द एग्जाम बिफोर एग्जाम टाइम हर बार एग्जाम में फेल हुआ पिताजी ने पिटाई किया ये हर दिन सपना और वो सपना हम साकार भी कर लेते फीलिंग होता है कभी एग्जाम में जा रहा हूँ इफ द क्वेश्चंस सच क्वेश्चंस कम टू whom I don't know the answer he gets shaken only he gets that anubhuti he just all kalpita only. These evidences are given, examples are given, and an introduction is given to him of this thought to break the shackle and barriers that just because something is experienced, it need not be real. In today's Mandukya, we have seen the totally the other thought. What is it? As the Ajnani says, because I am having Anubhuti, this world is real. The pure Jnani says, because the world is experienced, it is unreal. Because reality is only one, that is a self. Self cannot be experienced as objective. So anything experienced as object is not self. Not self is unreal. Why the world is unreal, Swamiji? Because it is experienced. Because the Sat cannot be experienced. Because you have to be the Sat. Sat, you, the object, how can it be subjectively known? Sorry, subject, the objectively, how can it be known? ये देखो वेदांत का क्रक्स यही है मैं रियलिटी हूं वो रियलिटी मैं ऑब्जेक्टिवली अनुभव में नहीं आ सकता हूं देखो एनीथिंग ऑब्जेक्टिवली अनुभूता इज अनरियल सो सिंपल that's the subtlety of vedanta knowledge gained when we continue what we are doing now some more years some more application बीच में अधूरा छोड़ दिया तो वही छूट जाता है सिक्स क्लास में छोड़ दी पढ़ाई तो हमारा एजुकेशन लेवल वही रहेगा एट तक जाके वहां छोड़ो यू विल बी दैट ओनली बट स्टडी अप टू पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन यू आर दैट सो टू टिल द वेदांत चरम avagahana sadhana anubhuti happens when we continue we get that stop anywhere in between back to worldliness continue it's our choice so bhagavan says anubhutani api imani jaganti vyoma rupini the whole worlds, though they are experienced to be solid with Rupa Nama, but from the substratum standpoint, they are Vyoma Rupa, Akasha Rupa. Means in their basic cause substratum, this so-called seen Rupa Nama with all various parameters, they are not there. Like if you hold a stone, it is let us say 2 kg weight and it has got 10 centimeters length or breadth, all of that, cubical, whatever, paramana. But the substratum of that stone, if you see, is that Satchit Paramatma. In that Satchit Paramatma, this Rupa is not there, that weight is not there, that size is not there. That's why it's called Akasha Rupini. Okay, Vyomarupini, Anubhutani Abhimani Jaganti Vyomarupini, Pruthvyadini Nasanti Eva. From the absolute Sadvastu standpoint, they do not exist only, even though they are Anubhuta, Swapna Sankalpayor Iva. So we have given you exhaustively the examples of Sankalpa, so too Swapna. Every day we get so many dreams. Anna? Those are highly egoistic, very much optimistic regarding this world and worldly bhoga, while being in the Jagrata Avastha. They create so many vasanas, and that such people have many, many dreams. Everyday dreams. And those who live with a very light sense in the outer world, doing their duty, nothing to worry, they just live happily with minimum dreams. होते हैं बट वेरी वेग, बट कुछ कुछ लोगों को इतने भयंकर ड्रीम होते हैं. Dream appears to be so realistic because he's such a egoistic person while living in the waking plane, making everything issue and focusing everything on his own ego. Always, such people have strong vasanas, more stronger and more quantity vasanas, more will be the dreams because the effort to sleep is the time where we withdraw from the outer world, the time for the gathered vasanas. That's an opportunity to express. That's called as dream. मन को अंदर के वासनाओं को व्यक्त करने का वो फुर्सत वाला टाइम होता है जब तब हम बाहर जगत से विड्रॉ होते हैं ऑन द अटेम्प्ट टू स्लीप देयर फॉर दैट टाइम दी परिपक्व संस्कारास एक्सप्रेस एज ड्रीम्स why dreams happen these are the reasons. So like the swapna and sankalpa, these prithvivyadi though anubhuta, they are न सन्ति एव ठीक है अनुभूतानि अपि इमानि जगन्ति व्योम रूपिणी पृथिव्यादीनि न सन्ति एव स्वप्न संकल्पयोः इव this is what the knowledge we have to become stronger in so difficult no that world with which we are so much attached so much reality we give living only in that we think as the purpose of life suddenly वेदांत में आके उसको बोलते हैं यह सत्य है it's like your jigri dost from 40 years suddenly died or left you with whom you used to spend every day 8 hours, 9 hours. You feel empty, isn't it? Or after your service is over, you are retired. From tomorrow, you need not come to office, they say. हर दिन गा के 8 घंटे as an officer or whatever, so many things you used to do. For few days, वो तो empty लगता है. Any other bereavements, the wife or husband died, isn't it? Or every day he used to trouble me so much for this and that. Now he will trouble me. Or the other way around. I used to trouble him. Without emptiness लगता है हमको because of that life of a relativity dependence lived for such a long time. Same with the world we were living so long. Suddenly when it is said अधिष्ठान दृष्टया इति मिथ्या तुरंत वो हमें हजम नहीं होता किसी को नहीं होता and that everybody will have to go through that stage. Remember whatever stage of inability to understand, inability to accept, inability to practice, right now we are going through. Every realized saint at one point of time, he also gone through that. You know? And as he reached to that level, having continued, when we continue, we also reach. Like in the world, every day, in every paper, TV, you listen to the life stories of thousands people. जब एकदम वो फेमस हो जाते हैं उनका पूरा बैकग्राउंड हिस्ट्री बोलते हैं वो कूड़ा कचरा इकट्ठा करता था और उनके पापा इधर चाहे एवरीबडी इज लाइक दिस नथिंग न्यू नथिंग टू फील सिंपैथेटिक एट ऑल हर एक का ऐसे ही होता है शुरुआत कोई कहते कोई नहीं कहते बस दैट्स इट It is nothing important that this cricket player has become so great, though he is born in the village and all. Array, everybody is like that only. Nothing. Even further going, every human was an animal. अब वो कहानी बताते जाए तो मैं पूछूं तो मैं गधा था अच्छा तू गधा था कहाँ रहता था उधर मैं भी वहीं रहता था we evolve that's how from all those things nothing new so idea is what in the evolution की बात आप देखोगे तो every jiva that way shifting his identities from the grosser to the subtler to the subtlemost self in that journey whoever is at what level we don't know where do we stand we must understand and take the help of great saints like Vaashishtha and their teachings slowly allow the understanding to happen ट्राई करते रहना, है ना? When the inner purity, outer swadharma nirvahana ityadi done, when that time that paripakvatas come where we get all these understandings. But attempt तो करते जाना, समझने का attempt, सोचने समझने का. सो अनुभूतान्यपि इमानि जगन्ति व्योमरूपिणी पृथिव्यादीनि न सन्ति एव स्वप्न संकल्पयोरिव. It's a very important part. Even though they are experienced, they are not real. Na santi, they don't exist. From the absolute self standpoint. Only after realizing the self, this sentence becomes absolutely true. But to realize the self, for us to focus on that, we have to withdraw from the involving world. Therefore, understanding, accepting that it is mithya helps us to detach from it which is necessary. जगत मिथ्यात्व जगत से छुटकारा पाकर अधिष्ठान को जानने के लिए हेल्प करता है, इसलिए जगत मिथ्यात्व ज्ञान आवश्यक. And having focused on self and realized it, the acceptance that the Jagat was mithya is really realized. Yeah, it's true. It was never there. The difference between dream and this is, from the dream it is so effortless to wake up every day. But for this long dream of Satyata given to Jagrada Avastha and Jiva Bhava, just like that accidental evolution nahi hota. Accidental realization. Like the dreamer realizes with small little jerk about his waking plane. थोड़ा आवाज आते ही वो ड्रीम से उड़ जाता है, या कोई धक्का भी दिया तो उड़ जाता है. इट्स नॉट डिफिकल्ट एट ऑल टू वेक अप फ्रॉम द ड्रीम. बट इज लॉन्ग ड्रीम टेकिंग द जागृत अवस्था इज रियल is so tough that other than our own efforts of withdrawing from the outer world and focusing on the self, neither we wake up from this dream nor we realize our awakened state. For that only, taking the analogy of dream, etc., the Jagrata is proved to be mithya for us. अब तुरंत होता भी नहीं वो भी बात. How much of like in the world too, in any of the field, politics को इसमें टाइम लगता है, मेच्योरिटी होता है वो आने के लिए. वेदांत में भी long time listening, slowly maturity happens. See the other day with the children, he was talking PM. When the children were telling about with so much work how balanced and all, he said, 25 years I lived as head of the state. It's not a small experience to be the head of the state. 25 साल is a huge time. में कितना फिर तजुर्बा आएगा. Therefore, you'll have to balance while going through outer, inner, internal country, external, all happenings. And he taught that good principle long back. Children learned. They asked him how you balance. He said, I live in the present. Children said that also. When he asked how you lost those 3 matches and yet bounced back, he said, we just learned to live in the present. We didn't worry about it. We only thought in India the game is going on for championship. The cup should stay within the country. Cute, all those children speaking. Vedanta only. There's nothing called world and worldliness for the one who has developed the vision of Vedanta. वेदांत की दृष्टि हो जाती है ना, सब दृष्टि सब वेदांत. जैसे से राममय सब जग जानी फरे राम भक्त. Come to the next sloka. This being very important sloka, we have given sufficient importance. And yet it is not done. It's not that I told you, therefore the job is done either to you or to me. Having told you, I have to contemplate for my own understanding. Having heard you to have to do. And understanding also doesn't help. Unless the self is realized, the Jagat is mithya is not finally confirmed. Isn't it? Again, some coach, he told again the children when they won the semi-final, unless it is done, it is not done. Till it is done, it is not done. That's true. Winning semi-final is not go. You have to win the cup. Then only that is celebration. Here also, only when the self is realized, the Jagat Mithya is confirmed. There's no doubt. So this is important shloka, ponder over it. Next, Pinda Graho Jagatyasmin Vijnana Kasharupini Marunadyam Jalamiva Nasambhavati Kutrachita. This is the standpoint of Vasishtha, where he is stationed now. He expects Rama to reach to that. He says, In the mirage water, as the water scene, when you go and touch it, will you ever even touch a drop of water, wetting, making your hands wet? कपड़ा भिगा उसमें भीगेगा क्या वो? Means on your true analysis there, having gone very close to it, that wateriness which you saw from distance is never found. Example is that. In the same way, Pinda Graho Jagadyasmin Vijnana Akasha Rupini. In that Akasha Samana Vijnana Rupa Parabrahma, this whole Pinda Rupi Jagat, Marunadyam Jalamiva Na Sambhavati Kutrachit. Like the water in the mirage is never there on your highest analysis. This is the beauty of Vedanta. Slowly listen it. Like on the deepest inquiry of the part, going into its cause. That part which you were talking earlier is not even found a bit also even to touch it. Because whichever you are calling as pot, wherever you are calling as pot, whatever you are calling as pot, it is nothing but mud only. So to whichever the water I was calling, it was Marubhumi, the desert only. So to whatever Pinda Jagat, Brahmanda Jagat I am talking, nothing but Brahman only. On the non-inquiry level, when there is no Brahman, Jagat alone is real. In this delusion we are. So to on the deepest inquiry, subtlest inquiry, unbiased inquiry, the whole things will change the opposite. That there is nothing but Brahman as this Pinda or Brahmanda Jagat. That's what he says. Marunadyam jalamiva na sambhavati kutrachit. Not existing only. It is never possible. Because the Brahman, the reality, when he is unmodifiable, and he is Janma, Vikara, Mrityu Adirahita. When he is birth, etc., are devoid of, he is devoid of all of that. Then he has never become Karana, as we explained yesterday exhaustively. When he has never become Karana, from him the Karya never came. So the word here uses na sambhavati kutrachit. And what is the difference here? He is not only saying that Jagat na asti in Brahman. He says Jagat na sambhavati only. What is not there in Brahman is one stage of understanding. Higher is what? What is never possible in the Brahman. Because Brahman is immutable, changeless reality. And if he is changeless, immutable, avikari, how can the Jagat happen in him? Na sambhavati only. Kutrachit means from nowhere, for no reason. There can be any happening of the Jagat in this Brahman, just like there can be no happening of even a drop of water in the mirage. But when you rightly inquire, but from distance, when you see, when the outer phenomena and inner mind's confusion prevail, then the water appears. So to the Jagat appears when the outer phenomena of Maya functional and inner upadhis are valued. When both are transcended, you see where is Jagat? Everything is Brahman and the Tam. That's the meaning of Pindagraho Jagati Asmin Vijnanakasha Rupani Marunadyam Jalamiva Na Sambhavati Kutrachitu. Again, Jagatya Pindagrahesmin Sankalpa Nagaropame Marau Nadiriva Saridiva Bhati Drishyata Bhranti Rupini. Same thing reverse करके कह रहे. जगति अपिंड ग्राहे अस्मिन संकल्प नगरोपमे. Jagat, which is not to be gruhita like a pinda. Pinda means substantial thing which you can hold. This world, which is not that way substantial, therefore cannot be held. Sankalpa Nagaropame, which is like the Sankalpa Nagara, where it's only Nagara made of Sankalpa. You cannot travel there. You cannot buy the things there in the Sankalpa, the shops. Sab Sankalpa or स्वप्न में है ना. स्वप्न में आप वेजिटेबल मार्केट में गए, दिखा, आप उसमें कुछ खरीदना चाहते हो, यू मे खरीदो इट इन ड्रीम बट नॉट इन द वेकिंग. When you wake up and see that whole Nagara, that market, the fruits displayed, all of them are unreal. So to Sankalpa Nagaropame Asmin Apindagrahe Jagati Marau Saridiva Abhati Drishyata Bhranti Rupini. Like in the desert, the river and the flow of river, the waves, as they are seen, Bhranti Rupini, So too, the entire Jagat is out of Bhranti. Seen, it is never real. See that? These are all very confidential knowledge gained from our gurus, keeping with ourselves. In public, in the world outside, with minimum our ego, outer expectations, whatever minimum obligations we have to do to such an extent with the goal that neither I am creating problem to the world nor allowing the world to create any disturbance in me. बस इतना करके आना बाकी पूरा इस तत्व में चलना we are given this opportunity blessings others may not be right now so we can't impose on them nor we should get influenced by them that's why as the mutual prarabdha yukta jivas, even though we are living together in this world, so too the other standpoint, as a individual sadhakas, each one are independent from other. Like the wife and husband and family stay under one roof with some mutual relative prarabdha. At the same time, each one is independent in their own wisdom, in their own pursuits, in their own goals, in their own evolution. हमेशा अलग अलग ही दिखता हो. You can see in some places, husband is so matured in spirituality right from the time of marriage. Wife is zero. After 20 years, 15 years, something happens. The wife talks more Vedanta than this husband. After some time again, somehow the wife gets lost in something. She forgets it in her husband. अरे क्या हो रहा है वो ऐसे ही होता है It is not as we talk now, which is wrong, comparing with each other. Every individual in his own way, evolving, and sometimes the prarabdha attacks, then he becomes again as if not sadhaka. Again, that obstacle goes away, again he moves. While this individually happening for each one his own evolution, at the outer level because mutual प्रारब्ध we come together. इसलिए जिनसे जो प्रारब्ध होता है अचानक suddenly go to America and make friends with somebody for 1 month. कहाँ अमेरिका कहाँ कोई दोस्त बना पता ना वो प्रारब्ध है उसका और yours. What is America? It's so far distance, no? Or your own children, grandchildren, you are supposed to stay with you. They have gone to US because ऐसा ही प्रारब्ध है. Somewhere they are staying. विचित्र है ना? Everything is there. Your children, parents are neighborhood only. Once in a month only they meet. ये सब क्या दिखा रहा है? We are bound by outer prarabdha and we are within us evolving as an individual independent spiritual seeker. Don't compare with others. You do your study sadhana. Okay? Jagati apindagrahe asmin sankalpanagaropame maro saritiva avhati drishyata bhranti rupini. Therefore, swapna drishyeva jagatam tuladeshena kenacha tulita kalanonmukta dushya shrir vyoma jrumbhate. See, Drushra Sri, the whole richness of Drishyata, Vyoma in the pure consciousness, Kalan Jujrumbhita is so vividly seen, Tulita Kalana Unmukta, which is actually really never happened. Like in the dream whole thing never happened, but so much Ujrumbata is there in the happening in the dream. Ujrumbata means actually so realistic, the happenings of the dream. It can be marriage, it can be a party, it can be any of the endeavors done, it can be a sports, it can be a tragedy. कुछ भी हो स्वप्न में, it appears to be so realistic. That realistic appearance is called ujrumbata here. But when you wake up and say, कुछ नहीं हुआ. So too, right now in our Jagrat Jagat, the entire happenings are with full of ujrumbhada, individual and total. But when you awaken to the self and see, कुछ नहीं हो रहा. That's what he says here. Then few more beautiful mantras are there. Tomorrow we'll do that. Then day after we'll do the katha about that Raja and Rani. How beautifully Vaashishtha explains the very good qualities of that king as well as queen. So 2-3 more days. To 1 day, 2 days, maximum 3 days. We will do this chapter. Then the next chapter may the Rani is Dukkha, and from that slowly we'll explain to us again the Vedanta. देखो when you go to shop, give the money, get the things, come home. हो गया. वेदांत ऐसा नहीं होता. That once I came to class and Guru told that Brahma is Satyam, Jagat Mithya, was my Sunliya. This is the biggest delusion because we say that we heard that from the Guru, but still give value to the Mithya Jagat and never realize the Sat Brahma. I was unknown. Therefore, unlike that going to shop, pay money and get the thing come home once, Vedanta is continuous. The two continuous ways of Vedas are what? One, I myself am continuously pondering over it. Two, when it is not possible to me to do for various limitations, reasons, I listen to somebody who goes on teaching. That's what Vaashishtha ji is doing. That's what the entire Ayodhya Vasis along with Rama are doing. Vaashishtha ji reveling in his own experience, explained in the words, they every day सुबह से शाम तक बैठकर वो वेदांत सुनते ही जाते हैं उनकी वो किस्मत थी. That Vaashishtha ji was very much there right from before Dasharatha Aja and right from the beginning of Ikshvaku. But never such occasion came but that into the whole mass of people that Vasishtha ji gave this Tattvopadesh. Occasion came through the Avatara Rama. Rama not only established a dharma there, but before that only, we all must know this point right now. That is because of Rama, when Vasishtha ji was giving the Vedanta Jnana to all, entire Ayodhya has heard it. That's why they could maintain that dharma, that's why they could maintain that dignity and all. Because only when you understand the pure Vedanta, that in Vyavahara also you behave decently. Why the Ayodhya Vasins were so great? Because along with Rama, from Vaashishtha, they heard the Brahma Jnana. सब लोग इतने दिन हो रहा था, many people were attending, almost entire Ayodhya. And those who could not come, the family members who came, they might have given them the knowledge. जैसे इन गुड ओल्डन डेज इन आवर सिटीज कोई ऐसे रामायण नाटक 3 दिन का 5 दिन का चलता था. Those who could attend, those who could not, the whole people from home who went, they come and tell, no, कोई भी एग्जीबिशन हो रहा है, कुछ हो रहा है, तो सबको तो पता तो होता था ना उस समय, जो भी होता है गांव में. यहाँ भी to entire Ayodhya Vasins, this knowledge given by Vasishtha ji was informed directly or informed indirectly. That's why they were all aiming at Paramatma Tattva and they were living with full dharma. And luckily, they had Paramatma as an avatar and as king. Sone pe suhaga, they could love him, they could respect, they could worship. When you have a good such a king, it's a chance for you to respect him and enjoy, his ruling. Like a very good kingdom is going on in our country. It's a privilege for us to respect them and follow all the things told in our own interest. Just like during the freedom struggle, the great giant freedom fighters came, gave slogans, and guided us to get freedom, to fight, to what we can do. And whoever have taken up that opportunity and joined them, they all have gained lots of punyam and all. And any time of the history, like the freedom time, some people fought for freedom, many followed them, many other gochus were eating and sleeping like buffalo. Even Ramavatara, some may be like that. Even now also, when a good times going on, there are many people who are even disliking, hating and wanting that golden period to go away. ये तो चलता रहता है तमाशा दुनिया का. Our focus should be to realize this self. So let us continue till it happens. When it happens, we can't say, but we can say it shall definitely happen. When we continue, to continue or not, it is always in our hands. My technique, I tell you, I always do Sankalpa. Bhagavan, ye Shastra Shravana Adhyan, till that Jnanam is understood and meditated and realized, let it continue in me. Let no obstacles come to me because of my own mistakes or because of the Samashti world. I keep on praying it. The Paramatma will ensure because my Sankalpa is that, my Prarthana is that for whatever things I am not able today, tomorrow I will make. Maybe I have thought long back is Janame, ki Yoga Asana Ramayana, let me study and tell. And in this very life also, imagine. I told you, remember 7, 8, 10, 12 years back when you used to meet, un dino mein I used to say, one text Yoga Asana Ramayana, definitely I have to touch. Those are in touch with me from last those 2, 3 decades, they know. And Bhagavan has heard that Sankalpa Prarthana of this life and maybe earlier lives. He gave this chance that you see, 456, star Panche, 456th day today. We are studying and we are into the third Prakarana. So that way, worldly Sankalpa karo, all those facilities come. Spiritual Sankalpa karo, wo aate hain. So whatever we can do now, let us do that. Whatever we have to do, what we can't do now, let's do sankalpa and prarthana for that. Things start falling in right place. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Ramayana Namaha. Tatsad Brahmarpanamastu. Very good. Patient listening. Congratulations. Now come back for Yoga Taravadi for some 20-15 minutes.